Ain't no way this just happened. Somebody call Mona Scott Young because this reality TV drama just turned into a full-blown crime scene. Mendeecees and Kirk Frost got into it heavy, and this ain't no scripted reunion fight. This is real-life jail time drama. How did we go from cheating scandals and messy relationships to a straight-up melee? Was it over Yandy? Kendra? Or did somebody finally have enough of Kirk's never-ending nonsense? Eyewitnesses say fists were thrown, furniture went flying, and security couldn't even break it up. Now both Mendeecees and Kirk are looking at some serious legal trouble. Did Yandy bail Mendeecees out? Is Rashida finally done with Kirk for good? And where was young Jock in all this mess? Oh, don't even trip. We got all the details, all the leaked footage, and you won't believe what really went down. So grab a seat, hit that like button, and let's get into this insanity. Mendeecees and Kirk Frost. Two names already carrying enough baggage to fill an entire season of love and hip-hop. But this might just be the wildest mess they've ever been caught up in. You mean to tell me these two grown men, fathers, and so-called businessmen just got themselves arrested over a brawl that looked like it belonged in a WWE ring? Oh, and let's not forget the instigators, because trust me, Yandy, Kendra, and young Jock were somewhere nearby stirring the pot like it was Thanksgiving dinner. Before we get into the details of this chaotic takedown, let's be clear, Mendeecees and Kirk have never been strangers to drama. From cheating scandals to financial scams, these two stay in controversy. But this time, it ain't just gossip. The streets are talking, the internet is shaking, and even the police had to step in and say, enough is enough. So, what exactly went down that got them in handcuffs, mugshots, and possibly facing some serious charges? Oh, trust me, you're going to want to grab some popcorn because this is straight-up reality TV gone off the rails. It all started at an exclusive Atlanta nightclub, because of course it did. Kirk Frost, who has spent the last decade proving he is the definition of messy, was spotted getting a little too cozy with a woman who was most definitely not his wife, Rashida. Now, you would think after all these years of embarrassment, he'd move a little smarter, but no. Kirk was in full reckless mode, laughing, drinking, and whispering sweet nothings into this mystery woman's ear like he didn't have a whole marriage on the line. Meanwhile, Mendeecees was in the same club, and let's just say he was already in a mood. Word on the street is that he had been arguing with Yandy all day about something that went down on the Love and Hip Hop set. Apparently, Yandy was still holding on to some resentment about that whole faking a wedding situation from years ago. You remember that, right? When Mendeecees had Yandy thinking they were officially married, only for it to come out later that the paperwork was never filed. Yeah, she ain't forget, and she definitely wasn't about to let him forget either. So there's Mendeecees, already irritated, sitting in VIP trying to enjoy his night, when who does he spot across the room? Kirk. And not just Kirk, but Kirk looking real comfortable with another woman. Now, normally, this wouldn't be Mendeecees' business, but remember, these reality stars live for mess. Plus, Yandy and Rashida are tight, and the last thing Mendeecees needed was for Yandy to find out he saw Kirk creeping and didn't say anything. So what does Mendeecees do? He decides to confront Kirk right then and there, because why not add a little gasoline to the fire? Witnesses say Mendeecees walked straight up to Kirk's section and called him out. No warning, no build-up, just straight to the drama. And Kirk? Oh, he did what he always does, tried to laugh it off. He hit Mendeecees with a classic, "Come on man, you know how it is," like that was supposed to smooth everything over. But Mendeecees wasn't having it. He started raising his voice, talking about how Rashida doesn't deserve this, how Kirk is out here embarrassing his family again, and how he should be ashamed of himself. And Kirk, instead of shutting it down, he claps back with, "Man, worry about your own marriage before you start preaching to me." Now, if you know Mendeecees, you know that was not the right thing to say. Because, let's be honest, Mendeecees is no saint, but the last thing he wants is for someone to throw his relationship issues back in his face. And that's exactly what Kirk did. And baby, that's when all hell broke loose. Mendeecees lunged at Kirk. Drinks went flying, security tried to jump in, but at that point it was on. And before anybody could blink, young Jock, yes, young Jock, was somehow in the mix, trying to pull them apart. Now, why was Jock even there? That's a mystery we may never solve. But one thing's for sure, he did not make things better. Instead of de-escalating the situation, Jock started running his mouth, talking about, "Man, both of y'all need to chill. This ain't the first time Kirk been out here wildin'." And just like that, Mendeecees turned his attention to Jock. Now, the club was in full chaos mode. People were screaming, tables were flipping, and security was struggling to keep things under control. And then, just when it seemed like things couldn't get any crazier, Kendra walked in. Kendra, who was supposed to be at home minding her business, walked straight into the middle of the madness. And the look on her face? Priceless. Because not only did she see her husband in the middle of a brawl, but she also saw the woman Kirk had been with. And she snapped. When I tell you the drama jumped from a 10 to a 100 real quick, I am not exaggerating. Kendra lost it. She started yelling, pointing fingers, and before security could even get things under control, the police had arrived. And that, my friends, is how Mendeecees and Kirk Frost ended up in handcuffs, looking like two fools who just couldn't keep their egos, or their hands, to themselves. As the flashing red and blue lights filled the nightclub, the energy in the room shifted from chaotic to straight-up terrifying. People were scrambling, phones were out recording every second, and the security team looked exhausted from trying, and failing, to control the situation. And right in the middle of it all, Mendeecees and Kirk Frost, still heated, still talking trash, but now they had real problems on their hands. The Atlanta PD wasn't playing around. The second those officers stepped into the club, they took one look at the scene. Tables flipped, drinks spilled, people screaming, and immediately started making arrests. And guess who they went for first? That's right, Mendeecees and Kirk. Now, let's be real. The moment Mendeecees saw those cops walking toward him, you know his heart dropped. This man has spent years dealing with legal drama, he's done time, been on parole. The last thing he needed was to be back in handcuffs. But Kirk? Oh, Kirk still thought he could talk his way out of it. Witnesses say Kirk was trying to play it cool, talking to the officers like, "Come on, man, this ain't nothing, just a little misunderstanding." But the police weren't buying it, especially since multiple people had already told them that Kirk and Mendeecees were the ones who started the fight. Meanwhile, young Jock, who had somehow managed to stay out of handcuffs so far, was still running his mouth. He was in the corner talking about, "Man, this is wild. Y'all really locking them up over a little club drama? Like, sir, you literally fueled the fire. Maybe sit this one out." Just when it seemed like Kirk and Mendeecees were the only ones going down, things took an even more shocking turn. Because remember Kendra? Oh, baby, Kendra was not letting this night end without some extra mess. While the cops were handling Kirk and Mendeecees, Kendra was still going off, yelling about the woman Kirk was with. And then, she tried to swing on her. Yes, you heard that right. Kendra, the classy, composed attorney, lost every ounce of professionalism and went straight into love and hip-hop mode. She lunged at the woman, and security had to hold her back. At that point, the cops were done. One officer shouted, "That's it. She's coming with us too." And that's how Kendra found herself in the back of a police car, right next to her husband. Meanwhile, Yandy had been sitting back, watching this whole thing unfold like it was a movie premiere. But you know she wasn't about to let Mendeecees go to jail without making a scene. The second they started putting cuffs on him, Yandy ran over screaming, "Oh hell no. Y'all not taking my husband over this nonsense." But the cops were not in the mood. One of them turned to her and said, "Ma'am, if you don't back up, you're coming too." And just like that, Yandy switched gears real quick. Say what you want about her, but she knows how to pick her battles. So now we've got Kirk, Mendeecees, and Kendra in custody. And y'all already know the internet went into a meltdown the moment those mugshots dropped. Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok went crazy. Memes were flying left and right. People were dragging Kirk for getting caught cheating again, clowning Mendeecees for being Atlanta's most unbothered husband, and roasting Kendra for throwing hands like a reality star. One tweet said, "Kendra out here fighting side chicks while her husband's sitting in jail grinning like it's a family reunion photo." Another one? "Somebody tell Kirk that Rashida ain't bailing him out this time." And speaking of Rashida, where was she in all of this? Well, according to sources, she was at home minding her business, as usual. But the moment she got that phone call about Kirk's arrest, oh, baby, she snapped. Insiders say Rashida was done, like, pack your bags, we're getting a divorce kind of done. Because let's be honest, Kirk has been embarrassing this woman for years, and at some point, enough is enough. But Kirk? Oh, Kirk thought he could smooth things over. Apparently, from jail, this man was calling Rashida, trying to hit her with the same tired excuses he's been using for a decade. And y'all want to know what Rashida did? She hung up on him. That's right, sources say she didn't even let him finish his sentence. She said click and went on about her day. And honestly, good for her. If Kirk hasn't learned by now, he never will. Now, let's get back to the jail situation. Kirk, Mendeecees, and Kendra were sitting behind bars, waiting to find out what kind of charges they were facing. And baby, the list was long: disorderly conduct, public intoxication, disturbing the peace, resisting arrest, and Kendra? Oh, she got an extra charge for attempted assault. At this point, everybody was scrambling to figure out who was going to post bail first. And let's just say not everybody was feeling generous. Word on the street is that Yandy refused to bail Mendeecees out right away. Yep, you heard that right. She was mad and wanted him to sit in there for a little while to think about his actions. Meanwhile, Kirk was banking on Rashida coming through. But after that phone call, oh, he had to start rethinking his whole life. And Kendra? Well, sources say young Jock was working behind the scenes to get her out because, let's be honest, if Kendra had to spend even one full night in jail, Jock would be looking at divorce papers the next day. But while all of this was happening, the internet was still eating this whole situation up. Fans were making side-by-side mugshot comparisons, reality stars were weighing in, and even some celebrities couldn't resist joining the conversation. One of the shadiest comments? 50 Cent. Yes, 50. He posted on Instagram, "Man, love and hip-hop got more arrests than the Super Bowl." And honestly, he wasn't lying. But the real gag? The judge wasn't about to let them off easy. Because remember, this wasn't just some small-time drama. This was a public incident at an elite club with witnesses and video footage. And yo, when the judge saw that footage, the vibe in the courtroom changed real quick. The moment the courtroom video played, you could literally feel the energy shift. The judge sat back, arms crossed, shaking their head like, oh, so this is what we're dealing with. The video showed everything. Kirk wielding out, Mendeecees throwing hands, Kendra trying to fight, security looking tired, and the cops stepping in like they were breaking up a WrestleMania match. And if that wasn't enough, the audio picked up every single word Mendeecees talking about. "You don't want these problems, bro." Kirk yelling, "You got me twisted, man. Watch yourself." Kendra screaming, "I know you didn't just disrespect me like that." Oh baby, this wasn't just a minor bar scuffle anymore. This was evidence. The judge was not impressed. The moment the video ended, they lowered their glasses, took a deep breath, and said, "So, let me get this straight. You three grown adults thought it was appropriate to turn a high-end nightclub into a WWE SmackDown event?" Mendeecees, Kirk, and Kendra just sat there, looking like kids caught stealing candy. The silence was deafening. Then, the judge started breaking it down. First up, Mendeecees. The judge locked eyes with him and said, "Mr. Harris, you of all people should know better. You've had legal trouble in the past, you've been on the straight and narrow, and now you're back in my courtroom for what? A petty nightclub fight?" Trying to stay calm, Mendeecees replied, "Your Honor, it wasn't like that. I was just..." The judge cut him off. "Oh no, it was exactly like that. Because I just watched the footage." Oof. Next, it was Kirk's turn, and baby, the judge was ready. "Mr. Frost, I'm almost embarrassed for you. You are a middle-aged man, out here causing scenes in clubs like a reckless teenager. And let's not forget, this entire situation started because of you. Your reckless behavior, your inability to stay faithful, and your complete lack of self-control." Kirk had nothing to say. He just sat there, looking like he wanted to disappear. And finally, Kendra. Now, Kendra is an attorney, okay? She knows the law. She's supposed to be the level-headed one. So when the judge turned to her, the disappointment was real. "Mrs. Robinson, you are an officer of the court. You are expected to uphold the law, not break it. I just watched you attempt to attack another woman in public. Do you have any idea how unprofessional and ridiculous that looks?" Kendra was fighting back tears at this point. She knew she had messed up. Then, the judge dropped the bombshell. "Based on the evidence presented, I am ruling as follows. Mr. Frost, you'll be fined $10,000 and must attend mandatory anger management and infidelity counseling." Yes, you heard me, infidelity counseling. The courtroom gasped. The judge turned to Mendeecees. "Mr. Harris, given your past criminal history, I'm sentencing you to 30 days in county jail. Perhaps some time away from the nightlife will help you reflect on your choices." And finally, Kendra. "Mrs. Robinson, as a legal professional, your actions tonight were completely unacceptable. You will be fined $5,000, required to complete a public misconduct rehabilitation program, and placed on professional probation. Any further legal infractions, and you risk losing your law license." Just like that, it was a wrap. Mendeecees was heated. You could see him whispering under his breath, "This is some bull. before Yandy nudged him like, "Boy, shut up before they give you more time." Kirk? Oh, he looked sick. The only thing running through his mind was, how am I gonna explain this to Rashida? And Kendra? Baby, she was 2 seconds away from a full breakdown. Speaking of Rashida, oh, she was already making moves. While Kirk was sitting in court looking dumb, Rashida was out here posting cryptic Instagram stories like, "A queen knows when to walk away. Respect is non-negotiable." Fans were eating it up. Twitter was on fire, dragging Kirk left and right. Bro went from, "I'm the man of the house," to "I'm in court for acting a fool at the club real quick." The most iconic moment? Somebody edited Kirk's mugshot onto a picture of Rashida walking away with the caption, "Boy, bye." Meanwhile, Yandy was out here doing damage control, releasing statements like, "We're handling everything privately as a family. Mendeecees made a mistake, and we're working through it." But the shade? The shade came when Yandy did an interview and said, "I just think some men forget they're too old for this type of drama." Phew. You know that was aimed at Mendeecees. And then there was Jock, who had been running his mouth all night. He went on Instagram Live, talking about, "Man, all I'm saying is y'all see what happens when folks don't know how to act. I tried to warn them." Sir, weren't you the main one hyping them up? As for Kendra's legal career, oh, baby, her law firm was not happy. Sources say the firm put out a statement basically saying, "We do not condone unprofessional behavior." Lawyer talk for, yeah, she's on thin ice. Fans were eating it up. One comment said, "Imagine getting your law degree just to end up on the do not hire list because you wanted to fight over Kirk Frost. Tragic." But the most hilarious reaction? 50 Cent. Yes, 50 again. He posted another meme with Kirk and Mendeecees mugshots and captioned it, "Love and Hip Hop, Locked Up Edition. Coming soon to VH1. And honestly, he might not be wrong. So, what's next? Kirk is scrambling to save his marriage. Mendeecees is counting down the days till he's free. Kendra is praying her law career survives this. And Rashida? Oh, she's out. And the fans? Oh, they're watching every single second. So, what do y'all think? Is this the end of Kirk and Rashida? Is Kendra about to lose her job? And is Mendeecees really about to do 30 days in jail over a club fight? Let's talk about it in the comments. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell because, baby, this tea is still boiling. There you have it, y'all. Absolute chaos. Mendeecees behind bars. Kirk getting humbled. Kendra fighting for her career. And Rashida reclaiming her peace like a true queen. This situation went from a messy club fight to a full-blown legal disaster real quick. But the real question is, who's really to blame here? Was Kirk just being Kirk and finally getting what he deserves? Should Mendeecees have walked away instead of throwing hands? And did Kendra just throw away her entire career over a man who stays embarrassing her? Phew, the drama. One thing's for sure, love and hip-hop never disappoints when it comes to mess. But this might be the wildest scandal yet. And y'all know there's going to be more fallout from this. Are we about to see breakups? Lawsuits? Maybe even an emergency cast meeting on VH1? So tell me, whose side are y'all on? Is Rashida finally done with Kirk for real? Is Kendra's career over? And do y'all think Mendeecees deserved the 30-day sentence? Or was the judge being too harsh? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because I need to hear what y'all think. And while you're at it, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell because, baby, this tea is still piping hot, and you know I got more exclusives coming your way.